Today we're talking debt to income ratio. What is it? Why is it so important? And it could be one of the most critical factors to you receiving your loan approval. Hello, my name is Sean Flinders. I'm a mortgage lender. And one of the more common questions that I receive as a lender from clients is when I determine what a debt to income ratio is for guideline purposes for approval, and a client may say, well, how is that determined? We're going to give you the formula here today. Now, your debt ratio is simply your gross income. You take your monthly debts. That debt number divided by your gross monthly income will give you a debt ratio. Now, when you're applying for a home loan, that's going to be further broken down into two numbers, a front end ratio and a back end ratio. The front end ratio is your new house payment. So that's going to include your principal and interest, homeowners insurance, property taxes, HOAs, flood insurance, all of the things that go into making up your total house payment divided by your gross monthly income. That's your front ratio. And each of the agencies have a guideline that they do not want you to exceed. Now, there's also the back ratio. That back ratio number is the new house payment along with all of your reporting credit debts divided by your gross monthly income. That's your back ratio. There's also a set number that the lenders will not want you to exceed on the back ratio as well. Now, if you're an hourly employee or a salaried employee and you work the same 40 every single week, or you make the same annual income, no bonus, overtime, commission, or tip, you can easily understand what your debt ratio is for qualifying purposes. You can see if you fall inside those guidelines. Where it gets a little bit muddy is if you're using overtime, bonus, tip, or if you're self-employed, any kind of additional income outside of an hourly rate or a salary rate, because at that point, that's when underwriters want to take an average. They're going to see what of your income can be used, and that's generally where a lot of clients will find their confusion, especially if you're self-employed. What you bring in may not be what you told the government you make. We're going to go off of what you told the government you make. Your debt to income ratio could be higher. So in determining where you qualify, now, for those all-important numbers, we're going to list them right here. FHA is, conventional is. Now, these are just the guidelines, and if you have compensating factors or additional compensating factors, you may be able to exceed those guidelines. For example, VA doesn't necessarily have a set debt to income ratio guideline. They look at all of the contributing factors and they'll determine. And this is why it's so critical to have a conversation with a loan officer before you fall in love with the house or before you write an offer. If you're ever in doubt, ask the loan officer to send the file in for an underwriting review so you can get a guaranteed pre-approval letter, or at least have your income guaranteed and underwritten. For more information about your debt to income ratio, how it's calculated, what goes into it, feel free to leave a comment below, and don't forget to like and follow. Have a good day.